How do I do it all? The Brezza gives me the power.
Well, they finished at least how we expected them to start, the Sunrisers Hyderabad, but that was hard work. Even without losing wickets, Sunrisers weren't getting boundaries and sixes away at the Wankhede. What does that tell us at halftime in this really high stakes game, you think, for both teams, looking at where they are on the points table? On Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Cricket for Timeout. Wisdom of Sanjay Bangar, precision of Pujara. I'm trying to think of something for Abhinav also. It's not coming right now.
Let's move on.
And the personality of Abhinav. But combining these three, my top three, you all have done very well with your predictions. I think everybody went between 160 and 180, right?
Something like that.
Yeah, so that's the kind of game it's turned out to be. What kind of score is that, Sanjay?
Under par, I would say.
Oh.
Because, mind you, the MI lost a specialist bowler. Karan Sharma, who was the most successful bowler in the previous match, was got injured and wasn't available. So a catch-22 situation for MI, because if a batter was to be in the playing 11 and they didn't really have to get in Rohit Sharma, they may have opted to use another spinner if that was the case. But I felt that having those 3 pace bowling options or 4 pace bowling options meant that they could cover all the bases that they wanted to, and ended up not using the other specialist spinner for his full quota of overs.
Yeah, because Will Jacks has clearly bowled 3 overs, and before that I just set up the power play. Abhishek and Head, it looked like they could have been out 5-6 times each almost. Drop catches falling short. What was that power play? Why was boundaries not coming?
One is the pitch was on the slower side, and I just want to reiterate what Michael Clark said. Tacky. He's someone who has a reasonable success as a bowler on Wankhede pitch. If
Yes,
you go
he
down
does.
the history line.
Yes, he does.
I remember watching that game. So, anyways, I felt the pitch was on the slower side.
And there was Murali Karthik as well. So he also had a fabulous test match.
Yeah, correct.
So I felt the pitch was on the slow side. They were a bit cautious. They wanted to play shots, but it didn't come out. And Mumbai Indians, the way their bowling lineup was, credit goes to them. They bowled well. I thought they hit the right length. They mixed up slow bouncers in between, and they were trying to bowl Yorkers also with the new ball within the power play. So which was also a good tactic, because if you look at the way Abhishek and Travis Head bats, they have little bit of struggle when the ball is pitched up. So they were not afraid to pitch it up, but in between they were trying to mix up the pace. And on that pitch, I felt that at the end of power play they were still well positioned, but after that they lost the game.
Did they want this pitch, do you think, for the Sunrisers? Is this looking like it's not a usual Wankhede surface, and shouldn't be any coincidence that it's against one of the strongest boundary hitting teams of the league?
It's exactly what you would want to dish out to them, considering they are very, very good on flat pitches. You know what they're capable of. First 6 came in the 18th over. Like in all, 5 sixes were scored. But I'm surprised, considering the statement that we put out from Dan at the start and the aggressive intent. 46 for no loss does not stay a story of. I know they were trying hard to even hit out or get out. Couple of catches went down. But I still felt in the middle, it was a case of their middle order not firing this season, which prompted possibly their top 3 to play slightly differently.
Yeah.
That's the feeling I got from here. But it wasn't an easy pitch to start off, and I think they've given themselves enough to possibly make a game out of this.
If this pitch stays the same, or do you sense it'll be easier second innings? Could this be one of those win toss, win game games?
Contrasting reports from the venue saying Dew is there, Dew isn't there. Dew will make a huge difference in this game. It will definitely make a difference in this game.
I'm trying to think, if you would analyze in the dugout too, that in the first couple of overs, okay, this is not the usual Wankhede surface. This is how they're going to bowl to us. So what is your method then to try and still get to something competitive? Now, maybe with Klaasen and Aniket, they've still got something here. But Travis Head is an all-format player. He's a test match genius as well. And I'm trying to think of why Abhishek still got 40 of 28. And Travis Head has looked like it was the longest, most painful innings he's played in the IPL in years. Can you explain that?
I thought he was trying too hard. At the same time, we have seen even in the past games where if if he knows that someone like Mitchell Stark is bowling. He has been trying to play cricketing shots. When Bumrah came in, he never tried taking any risk. He was just trying to play normally. So I think that is the message which has been passed on, or that is the strategy which he has in his mind.
Like there are certain bowlers he just doesn't
Want to take
on.
risk. Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
See, Travis had one of those innings wherein very difficult for us to comprehend from a distance. But I would say power play didn't really hurt them. It is the middle overs which hurt them, and that's where Ishan Kishan obviously jumping far too early, and Will Jacks again having excellent control throwing it wide. But it is the Nitish Reddy innings again. Like if you look at his innings, maybe less than run a ball or
19
around,
of 21.
around run a ball.
Less than a run a ball.
So in 21 deliveries, what was he trying to do? Was he really trying to rotate strike? Because on such surfaces, if there is a method, maybe rotate strike as much as possible is one method of really proofing yourself against getting a score of roughly 160, 170 odd. That could really be a game wherein 170 could be a power score on such tracks.
Yeah.
Also very surprised with Ishan Kishan and how inconsistent he has been. It's really bothering for a young batter, especially with so much competition around wicket keepers at the moment. You get 100 and then you fall off. Your entire season is almost a story of that one particular 100 at the start of the season.
Sure.
And then you're not getting anything. They have invested a lot of money in Ishan Kishan, and I think he's not repaying the faith back. You expect consistency from a top three. You don't expect sporadic scores here and there. You expect them to win you at least 4 or 5 games, and I think that's a very big cause of concern for SRH.
Will Jacks, and you thought that off spin is out of fashion, Mr. Bangar, and off spinners aren't played and whatnot. And Will Jacks isn't even an off spinner. He's a batter who can bowl a bit of off spin. But how simple and how sweet.
Yeah, it has been, and there have been some very good examples in this season itself, wherein Moeen Ali, conventional off spin, no carom ball, nothing, and Will Jacks as well. And all that you think of Will Jacks is that even for his national team, he's not a frontline bowler.
Yep.
He's the guy who is still work in progress as far as his bowling is concerned. But yeah, it works, and provided you have enough faith in actually delivering it, and also the management which thinks that okay, you're capable of doing it, and think of that you can pick wickets by bowling off spin.
I mean, if they have the same surface on Sunday when CSK play, Ashwin is going to be a real threat with just bowling simple off spin and troubling the left hand.
They are going to prepare such pitch. It will be a flat pitch.
Oh,
looking at CSK's batting lineup,
Belter it will be.
yeah, it will be a flat pitch.
my bad. I was thinking something else only. Okay, let's look ahead, shall we? Let's also, maybe before we look at Klaasen, 37, and he would be really, he almost was so furious at getting out that he wanted to hit the other stump out. He missed a full toss there, because you sense if Klaasen faces another 5-6 balls, there 7, maybe they do get the 170, or 175, which might give them more of a chance. Was that a good enough Klaasen innings for you?
He tried his best, I thought. Okay. I thought he definitely tried to build an innings, take something out of, purposely wait for the other overs apart from Bumrah. I think this was in his slot. On a good day, I think Klaasen would have hit that for 4 or 6. Considering he took 21 of that previous over from Deepak Chahar, and he was very still, hit it on both sides. So I personally felt he was just waiting for that another over.
Sure.
Unfortunately, it didn't happen.
I'm not bringing up the top scorer Abhishek Sharma, because after Dan said about he didn't have much luck, I think all his luck has come together in the last innings and in this one. So I think it's leveled out, because even though he's 40 of 28, curiously he's not at a 6. So I don't know if that was also Abhishek trying to keep the ball down. There was some shots he played which looked like there was no intent in it, but that looks like a really good innings with the innings now.
Yeah, but I thought you have to give credit to Deepak Chahar for the way he bowled, because Abhishek was expecting Deepak to bowl in a particular fashion. But credit to Deepak that he really used the short ball well, as also the slower balls to really good effect.
Overall bowling plans, you think Mumbai were spot on, well prepared, barring maybe 2 expensive overs at the end, which have been the only 6 hitting overs?
I don't really think they were really tested. I mean, they had the game going for them just the way they would have ideally wanted.
I just have one point here is that Deepak Cha, he ends up bowling in between 15 to 20th over, whereas I feel Hardik is a better death bowler. He can keep his 1 or 2 overs towards the end, and Deepak can bowl within first 15.
Just bowl him out. Sometimes I think MS Dhoni at times used to even bowl him out inside 8-10 overs
Because
if memory
it
serves
could
me
have
right.
reduced another 10 runs. That's what I
You
feel.
never know if it's a close game.
Very similar bowlers, no? Bolt and Bumrah. Even Rajasthan used to use 3 of Bolt at the top and just 1 at the death. So it's very difficult call to actually do that as a who gets the 3 overs in the power play, who bowls in the middle, then who bowls in the. I think they're still working out that combination.
Because when you have Bumrah, who can, you know that
Anywhere.
he will give you 2 overs towards the end. If Hardik can bowl at least 1 over towards the end, and Deepak can bowl within first 15, that will be a better strategy.
Well, he did go two of Bumrah in the power play this time.
Yeah.
So we can understand that. But maybe they really will regret not having made more of the start they had. 46 is still in the game. It just didn't come for them, for the Sunrisers. However, let's look ahead to the chase. Is there any reason to believe, if this wicket plays the same, that Sunrisers could actually defend this against a very strong and long Mumbai Indians batting?
Yeah, I think what Puji suggested at the start of the show, in case people forget, bring Cummins on early. And I think it might happen, considering the impact sub could be Jaydev Unadkat, who likes bowling middle to end. Unadkat, Harshal Patel in that phase, both very similar sort of bowlers.
Yeah.
There is a possibility. You know, Surya's not great with the slower ball. You know, Tilak might struggle if doesn't get off to a great start. So, about 50, 60, 55 for 2 in the power play is still in it, I would think.
Wow, interesting. Again, all this with an asterisk of no due. If due comes in, the whole game changes.
I think even without the due, Mumbai Indians, they will chase this down comfortably.
Easily? Comfortably? Okay, so Puji is saying this should be an easy win. We know Rohit will come out hard. That's how he tends to. So you say, are you backing that as well? Easy chase for MI? The last few days have made us think, hasn't it? When we said at halftime, KKR, easy chase, 113 to win.
He kept it simple. He said,
I would again back Pujara's conviction of Mumbai chasing this out quite easily.
Okay, that's good. Very good. Remember that stat I showed you on the pre-show of Abhishek and Head batting outside the power play and how they win 80% of
But
the...
you also showed another stat of their bowlers. SRH bowlers. So I'm backing that rather than...
Touche Pujara.
that's meant for elimination,
Checkmate.
not for support.
Ah, yes, Mr. Sidhu. Yeah, uses. Let's forget it. You can find it on social media somewhere. Right, gentlemen, I guess you all are all backing Mumbai Indians to do this. Let's get a prediction of when this game would likely end in your view.
18 overs?
18 overs, okay.
Yeah, I'll back that. 17, 18
18.
overs.
Mr. Bangar, 10 overs, 12 overs?
No chance.
Okay. You know what? I'm going to say Sunrisers will defend this.
Nice.
Just because of my stats. The first stat, not the second stat. And then I'm just going to do what Matt Roller did that day, and just try and go for the outrageous with the Sunrisers. Thank you, Mr. Bangar, Mr. Pujara, Mr. Mukund. More from these 3 wise men at the end of this game, where 2 precious points will be either in the bag of the Mumbai Indians, who certainly hold the advantage, or can Sunrisers do something spectacular as Rohit Sharma and Ryan Rickleton walk out at the Wankhede. Join us for post-match analysis, where we welcome your comments and questions too on Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Cricket for Timeout.
How do I do it all? The Brezza gives me the power.